Let's go straight to someone who does know all about the Great Barrier Reef, the IPA's Jennifer Marohasy. Jennifer, great to have you on the show as always. Can you please tell us, what is the health of the Great Barrier Reef like at the moment?
It's in wonderful shape. I was just diving off Cairns a few weeks back and it's looking as wonderful as ever. And you know why we have record coral cover? It's because for decades now, both the number and intensity of cyclones hitting the Great Barrier Reef has actually been decreasing. And that's not something that the Bureau of Meteorology is telling us. At the beginning of each cyclone season, it says cyclone number and intensity is increasing because of climate change. Yeah. But then the data comes in and they don't report that actually it's down again. It's been trending down, number and intensity of cyclones. That's the Bureau's own official data, which it buries. They don't only bury these reports that say coral cover's increasing, they also bury the reports that say number and intensity of cyclones is trending down, because that doesn't accord with the theory that we've got catastrophic climate change.
Absolutely. James.
Well, this brings up a great question then. You know, we look at the corals report that Rowan just talked about. We talked about the cyclones that you've just talked about. Why is there such an allergy to good news among the people who study all of this stuff? You would think that the people who claim to care about the Barrier Reef and care about all of these things would say, hey, look at this, how wonderful it is. Please come and dive the reef. Please, you know, think how great this is. How wonderful is this treasure we have that is preserved and is coming back?
You know, when the UNESCO people came over, that was in March last year, they were taken to two reefs. They were taken to Lady Elliot Reef and they were taken to Moore Reef. So Lady Elliot's in the south and Moore Reef in the north off Cairns. And they were shown the corals and they were beautiful. Those two reefs were looking great in March last year and they're still looking fantastic. But you know what? The UNESCO people didn't report on what they saw. They relied on these aerial surveys done by other people that apparently says that these reefs were in bad shape. So you actually look, and you're showing now some pictures of John Brewer Reef. Now that reef was reported as at the epicenter of mass coral bleaching in March last year, which was also the time that the UNESCO people came. I went to John Brewer to have a look at the corals there because they were meant to be the worst of the worst. And you know what? I found beautiful coral, absolutely beautiful coral. And by coincidence, AIMS was actually doing an underwater survey that they didn't report on for 6 months, and they reported zero bleaching. Meanwhile, the aerial surveys done at this extraordinary altitude, zooming overhead, literally a flyby, reported 60% bleaching.
Oh, Rita.
It's crazy.
What is the impact of this disinformation that's being put out there? Obviously, it's going to possibly turn off tourists who don't want to pay tens of thousands of dollars, depending on where they're coming to go and dive there if they think the reef's dying. But what about the impact on farmers? Because they are copping a lot of the blame as well about the health of the reef.
So it's been an excuse to increase regulation of farming and reduce their capacity to access pesticides and fertilizers and so forth. So there's an impact on farming and there's also an impact on tourism because numbers of people visiting the reef are right down. It does have an impact on tourism and it does have an impact on farming. But you know what I really worry about? It's the mental health of our children, because they are being told that the reef is dying, that they're never going to be able to see these corals and the beautiful fish. But you know what? I've been diving the reef now for more than 50 years. I was first snorkeling off Cairns when I was 7 years old, and I'm going to be 60 in a couple of months. And you know what? The corals are still beautiful, and the fish, they still come right up to you to say good day.
Fantastic. Jennifer Marohasy, we'd love to join you up there underwater. Ritu,
I was going to say that last 10 seconds should be the next ad for Australian tourism. Put that out there.
Great idea. Come on, Australian tourism. Take Jennifer Marohasy. That last clip there, fantastic. Jennifer, always great to see you. Enjoy the reef. We're so jealous of you.